Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to another episode of News Dose, where I give you all of the latest gaming news. And today we got some more in-depth details on the backwards compatibility for the Xbox Series X. Of course, we all knew that the Xbox Series X was going to be backwards compatible and able to play Xbox One, Xbox 360, and the original Xbox games. But the Xbox backwards compatible team didn't just stop there. They are basically redefining what it means to play an old game on a next generation console, and truly it's amazing what they're doing. So don't go anywhere just yet because we will talk about that. Also, something seems to be happening with Sega, and reportedly it will be revolutionary. But before we get into all that, let's go over some of the quick news. First up, we have a release date for Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered Edition. It was originally supposed to release back on January 23rd, but did end up getting delayed, and now you can mark your calendars for August 27th. It will be available for the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, iOS, and Android devices. This does include some new additions compared to the original game for the GameCube that was released back in 2004. There will be new character voiceovers and dungeons, crossplay, which is a really big one, upgraded visuals and audio, among several other things. And honestly, I'm kind of excited for this game because I actually did not play the original on the GameCube, and this is supposed to be one of the better spin-offs to the Final Fantasy franchise. So yeah, let's prepare for August 27th. But hey, maybe you're looking for some games to play today. Well, there are a few free games that you can go out and play right now. If you do have PlayStation Plus, Sony did announce the June lineup, which includes Call of Duty World War II, which is actually available to download today. So you don't even have to wait until June to play this game, just go ahead and check it out right now. If that isn't your cup of tea though, starting June 2nd you will be able to download Star Wars Battlefront 2. Both of these are actually pretty good games as well, and frankly, this is a big step up from May's lineup. I did mention that you could play a couple different games today for free though, and that's because the Epic Games Store is also offering a free game, and this doesn't even require a paid subscription. This is some game by the name of Sludge Life, and watching the trailer, I have no idea what this game is. It looks like some kind of strange adventure game, but people seem to be hyped up about it, so I thought I would at least let everybody know. So if you want to go check that out, hop onto the Epic Games Store. Moving on though, a new Dragon Quest game was announced for consoles by the name of Infinity Strash: The Adventure of Dai. This will actually be based off the anime Dragon Quest Adventure of Dai and will be an action RPG. Specific consoles have not been named just yet, but based off the history of the franchise, I would assume both PlayStation and Nintendo will get this game. Hopefully it comes to Xbox and PC as well, but for whatever reason, Dragon Quest games keeps missing the Xbox console, and honestly, it makes no sense to me as to why. I know Phil Spencer seems to be putting more of an emphasis on Japan, so we'll have to wait and see how this one turns out. I would like to see the Dragon Quest franchise come to Xbox and their fans, and really, Dragon Quest isn't that big in the West. I mean, it's absolutely huge in Japan, but in the West, it's a little lesser known. But hey, if Square Enix decided to put Dragon Quest into Xbox Game Pass, I think that could really boost the recognition of this franchise on Xbox and in the West in general. The Dragon Quest franchise is among the best JRPGs, and truly it deserves better in the West. I digress though, we do have other things to talk about, including a new virtual reality headset. The thing about VR is that VR headsets have not exactly been easy to come by since Half-Life Alyx was announced around November. The Valve Index has been selling out, and the Oculus headsets have been selling for insane prices over on websites like Amazon. However, there will be a new headset releasing this fall, the HP Reverb G2 for $600, which was co-developed by HP, Microsoft, and Valve. This is actually a very attractive headset as well, boasting some pretty impressive specs. It will have a resolution of 2160 by 2160 per eye, it uses LCD Valve lenses, includes 4 cameras on the headset for tracking, and has new ergonomic controllers, but the thing is, the price is $600, and for a VR headset, that is not an outrageous price. The Valve Index does cost $1,000, and the Rift S is $400. So the HP Reverb G2 seems like a nice alternative if you don't want the Index or the Rift S. Maybe you want that extra resolution compared to the Rift S, and you don't want to pay that $1,000 for the Index, so the G2 should fit nicely between the two. So yeah, it is an interesting headset if you're interested in VR. And with all the quick news out of the way, let's move on to some of the bigger stuff, starting off with Xbox backwards compatibility. Team Xbox did detail what backwards compatibility will mean for the Xbox Series X, and it really does seem like Team Xbox is trying to redefine what it means to play backwards compatible games. Yes, thousands of games will immediately work on your Xbox Series X come this holiday. This includes Xbox One games, Xbox 360, and the original Xbox. Over at Team Xbox, the backwards compatibility team really did focus this generation on getting Xbox 360 and the original Xbox games to work on Xbox One, and it seems all that hard work will pay off as they should be moved right on over to the Series X. Though here's the thing, and this is where it starts to get really exciting. So all games, not some games, but all games will run better on the Xbox Series X than they did on previous hardware. That is because all games will run natively on the Xbox Series X using the full power of the video card, processor, and the solid-state drive. That's right, they are saying that every game will run peak performance and many will run even better than they originally did, which is an incredible feature. That means several games will have higher resolution and frame rate than what they currently do on Xbox One, and will even decrease load times as well thanks to the new solid-state drive using Xbox Velocity architecture. And no, it does not stop there either, because Xbox somehow implemented a new deconstructive HDR technology that will allow the platform to add HDR capabilities to games without affecting their performance, and this includes games that never had HDR in the first place. So you will be able to play original Xbox games and Xbox 360 games with HDR, and of course, that didn't even exist when those consoles were out. And I will tell you this right away, HDR is a huge visual change. I first experienced HDR playing God of War, and at the time, I tried playing it in HDR, and then I took it to another TV without HDR, and it was a night and day difference. From that point forward, I have refused to play console games on a TV that does not have HDR, so Team Xbox somehow managing to add HDR to backwards compatible games is just incredible. And you would think that would be all, but well, it's still not. Not only will games get HDR capability and run at peak performance, but the Xbox compatible team are also doing something very similar to what they did with the Xbox One X, whereby a game-by-game basis, they select games to increase their performance a little bit more dramatically. In the past, this meant some games would get things like 4K, and one that immediately comes to mind is Final Fantasy XIII. If you haven't seen that game on Xbox One X, they did a brilliant job with Final Fantasy XIII. I mean, it looks so much better on the Xbox One X compared to the Xbox 360 or even the Xbox One. With Series X though, they even take it a step further, and this time they will also be trying to double the frame rate on select games. That means instead of games running at 30 frames, they would instead run at 60 frames, or in some cases, they may even jump up from 60 to 120 frames per second. I believe Gears 5 will be one of these games going from 60 to 120. I would like to see what games goes from 30 to 60 though. I think that this generation of consoles has had a lot of really great games, but unfortunately, a lot of games have been running at 30 frames. So the compatibility team taking some of these games and doubling the frame rate will be really cool as people go back to revisit some of their old favorite games. And for that matter, it allows new players to play some of these old games that they may have missed. I think people often forget about that. Backwards compatibility doesn't just allow fans to revisit games, it also keeps games alive for fans who never played those games in the first place. But yeah, the Xbox team is doing incredible work here, and it really does redefine what backwards compatibility truly means. I will ask you though, what games would you like to see double frame rate for the Series X? Let me know in the comments below. On to our next topic though, and this one is really interesting. So apparently a journalist by the name of Zenji Nishikawa is teasing a huge scoop on the level of Wired's initial PlayStation 5 article, which was a huge scoop last year. That is where we got our first details for the PlayStation 5 and some of its specs. So apparently whatever this new scoop will be, it will be on the same level, which will obviously create a lot of hype, and in fact he seems so excited about this scoop that he is calling it revolutionary. And whatever it will be, we don't have to wait for too long, as it will go up on the weekly Famitsu issue on June 4th, but what exactly could it be? Well, that's the thing. So viewers apparently pointed out that he may have let it slip on stream that it was about Sega, and this is what he had to say. Did I say it was Sega? Well, then it is Sega. So that's one piece of the puzzle out of the way, unless he's joking, but what could be revolutionary? I know people's minds will immediately go to Sega coming back to the hardware side of things, though Zenji did mention that it has nothing to do with a Dreamcast 2. Now, maybe it could be a new console not named Dreamcast, but I highly doubt that. I still though cannot wrap my mind on what Sega could possibly announce that would be revolutionary. I mean, he could just be trying to hype up this news piece so he can get more clicks, but there is a few theories out there. Sega could end up partnering up with somebody, and one name that keeps floating around is Xbox. There have been rumors about the two working together on something that was apparently going to be announced this June. Xbox and Sega have been working with each other here recently a lot if you have been paying attention. Sega and Xbox partnered up to bring over Phantasy Star Online 2 to the West as an Xbox console exclusive. The Yakuza games just released on Xbox One, and Yakuza Like a Dragon appears to be a next-generation exclusive for the Series X. And several Sega games have been coming to Xbox Game Pass, including Yakuza and Streets of Rage 4, which both launched day one into Xbox Game Pass. So could there be more to this, and could they have partnered up to do something together? Maybe some kind of exclusive deal where multiple Sega games are exclusives to the Xbox brand. I've even heard people talk about Sega being bought out by Xbox, and basically Xbox becomes Sega Xbox over in Japan, which could help the Xbox brand over there. Though the thing about that is those are just rumors, and I'm not going to take any of those serious until something gets confirmed. So don't quote me on any of that. Those are just some rumors that are going around the gaming community right now. I honestly have no clue as to what this quote-unquote revolutionary scoop will be. For all I know, it could be a PlayStation or Nintendo deal. Maybe it's just a Dreamcast Mini and he is overhyping it. It really is the wording by him, revolutionary, that is getting people just so riled up. All I know though is that if this is a hype piece, well, he got me because I'm certainly excited to see whatever this could possibly be. I will ask you though, do you have any theories as to what Sega could announce that would be revolutionary? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways though, that's it for this episode, but if you liked the video, don't forget to hit the bell notification and subscribe button for more content just like this. Peace out.